Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining today's live video AMA. It's me again, Maggie. I'm the head of marketing at crypto.com, and I'll be your host for today's live stream. We recently have invited quite a number of DeFi projects to chat with us. The one that we have invited today is Loopring. Loopring is a zero-knowledge roll-up exchange and payment protocol. Loopring allows anyone to build high-throughput non-custodial order book-based exchanges on Ethereum blockchain by leveraging zero-knowledge proofs. So joining us is their co-founder and COO, Zhou. We have collected a bunch of questions from the community earlier this week, and Jay's team has selected about 20 or so to answer. If your question has been featured in the Q&A session, then you have won a share of 3,300 LRC prize pool, which will be directly distributed to your crypto.com app account within 2 weeks or so. Now, without further ado, I give the word to you, Jay. Welcome.
Thanks, Maggie. Thanks
for joining us today. And before we dive right into the 20 questions that the community members are curious to learn more from you, would you like to give us a brief introduction about yourself, your team, and also Loopring? All right, I think Jay has just... Hi, Jay. I think we have just
Maggie.
for a second.
Yeah, sorry, I think I just got lost. Hey guys, this is Jay, co-founder and CEO at Loopring. I'm really excited to be here today. So first of all, let me introduce myself. Before start Loopring project, I was working for a few traditional finance company like Ernst & Young, PayPal, not really traditional actually, like fintech. And so I was founding the first PayPal Bitcoin clubs in Asia, and start to convince people to invest in Bitcoin back in 2013. And also, in the meantime, I also write paper articles for a few local crypto. Back then, it wasn't crypto; it was Bitcoin communities. Yeah, so then I met my co-founders Daniel back in 2017, and he told me this crazy idea: build up a decentralized exchange on Ethereum. I wasn't too convincing at that time, but after a lot of research and especially I lost my fund from centralized exchange, so I think decentralized exchange should be the future. Um, so we start to work on this project and did a bit of fundraising, like token sale, and raised about 45 mils in 2017. I think it was the second largest in at that time. The largest one was Tezos. So once we got enough fund, then we start to build our product. The first version and the second version of Loopring, and launched in 2017 and 2018 respectively. But to be honest, it wasn't very successful because of Ethereum congestion. All the settlement and clearing have to do on-chain, and the network was terrible, and gas costs ridiculous high. Then we come up with a new idea. We shouldn't wait for Ethereum to scale up. We should have our own solutions to scale up the network. And then we start to work on the zero knowledge proof, which we call ZK-Rollup. So now we have successfully built up a technology called ZK-Rollup. In the other words, you can call it a layer 2, Ethereum layer 2 network. So we can put all those computation work off-chain, and then only bring the result on the blockchain. And the blockchain only need to do the verification. Once the result has been verified, then all the work will be coming or approved. And so in result, you can increase the TPS transaction speed up to like 3,000 or almost 4,000 transaction per second now. I think this is the future.
Well, thanks for the introduction. I think that helps me lead right into the first question raised by the community, is that because some of the other projects have chosen a different path, like say, okay, Ethereum is really congested, why don't we build another blockchain, right? Why and what triggered you to decide to build Loopring on Ethereum and not try to solve this problem of scalability on other blockchains? And how are you using the Ethereum network within Loopring's technologies, um, and also like the decision making behind on like improving the scalability by moving a lot of computations off chain instead of another approach?
We are being agnostic at the beginning. Even now, we are still building up an agnostic protocol. So back in 2017, we actually launched. So after we complete our protocol on the Ethereum network, then we follow up the protocol on the Neo blockchain, and almost start to work on the quantum blockchain. Well, quantum is very similar to Ethereum, to be honest. You can, I wouldn't say copycat, but very similar. So after working on Neo, especially Neo was so popular back in 2017 and 18, and we found there's a lot of problems, and none of the blockchain is complete right now. Is not, none of them are perfect. but it's just the consensus. Like back in 2018, there's so many public blockchain coming up, but at the end of the day, or even now, how many of them still exist? I mean, like, how many of them have real ecosystems? So right now, we just want to focus on the Ethereum because after 2 or 3 years, come um, competition, most of people are on Ethereum. This is where the most majority of the mainstream um, people are. So, and also our team holds Ether the most. So,
Telling us
I
the
think it's
reason.
yeah, I think yeah, it's also one of the I think it's one of the important reason as well. If I hold a huge bag of um, say Tron, I probably will spend quite a bit of time and effort to work on Tron, but I don't. Um, uh, so um, so um, um, so we see Ethereum has more potentials, and so far it doesn't mean in maybe after 1 or 2 years, especially in crypto space, Ethereum still will be the leading blockchain.
Mhm.
Maybe there was some other emerging public blockchain, or maybe Libra, I don't know, coming up. Then we will move or switch to the migrate to the other leading blockchain. But right now, Ethereum is still uh, on the leading space. Um, but like Polkadot or Cosmos, they position themselves as like a hub chain or relay chain, so they can connect different blockchains. So we are still trying to be open. If there is any mature cross-chain technology, then we will use it to connect us to the other public blockchain as well. So yeah, that's the reason. I mean, like consensus. To be honest, in my honest opinion, consensus is the most important communities.
Mm.
I've asked a few other famous public blockchain founders, um, like they claim themselves as like 10,000, 50,000 TPS, but the most important, how you're going to build up your communities, they still don't have good answers yet. So
Mm. Yeah, I agree. I think at the end of the day, like people really like to complain about Ethereum, but then everyone is still there, right? There is a
yeah,
reason behind it. It's not just about the technology itself. And I think you sort of answered the next question raised by the community, which is if you got any plan to implement Loopring on Polkadot, which has gained a lot of popularity lately, and also Chainlink, which is a cross chain protocol. I guess what you were saying is that at the moment you're not planning for that yet, but you wait and see. And because the ring is agnostic, so subject to which protocol is gaining popularity, you will respond accordingly, right?
yes, that's correct. So we are agnostic protocol. So and we are being open. I think that's the spirit of the blockchain. It's not like you only it's not like marriage, it's a blockchain. It's very open-minded thing. So you can, working with different blockchain, and I think even Vitalik himself, as long as there's a better blockchains there, I think Vitalik will support it. From my personal opinion. So same as us. Yeah. But back to your second question. Chainlink is Oracle, like a decentralized Oracle, by the way. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah. So we did a partnership with Chainlink last year, and we will use Chainlink Oracle in future, especially we did actually use it in the first month, but then somehow somehow there's a bit story, so we pause it. But we still keep a good relationship with Chainlink team, and we will use the Oracle for our future. In the meantime, we also have another option, which is BAM protocol. They are also a decentralized oracles, have been used by us on our UI price feed. So yeah, so I think in blockchain, I
Okay, I
think people
think
try to be
Jay have
open-minded.
just frozen again.
Oh,
So let's
okay.
see whether he's gonna come back in a second or so. Yeah, there you are. It just froze for a
Hello.
second as well.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah. So I just want to say, same, just like same as oracles, we partner up with Chainlink, but we also use BAM protocol for our UI price feed oracles. So we're trying to be adaptive. Yeah, so as long as there's better solutions, I think we can just integrate together or collaborate together.
Mhm. So when you were introducing yourself, you mentioned about the technologies ZK-Rollup, and you said that it's sort of like a layer two. The next question is, what is it exactly? Can you elaborate a little bit more on that, especially the features that Loopring layer two support?
Okay, so let me use a better examples because I'm not an engineer, so I want to use a non-technical way to explain this technology. So like Ethereum is like, for example, like on the roads, there's 4 lanes, two lanes in one way. So Ethereum has 4 lanes, and then if there has 10 cars um, um, uh, driving on the roads, no problem. But if there's like 10,000 cars, like transactions, when I say cars, that means transactions. Um, but when there's 1,000 cars or 10,000 cars on one road or in one street, then it's gotta be a traffic jam. So for us, what we do is we build up a relay layer two. Layer two is pretty much like you're building up a highway on the top of the street. Then it's like high speed and on the top of the road. Then we build another like 100 lines, 50 in each way, and then allows maybe 1 million cars to drive past these roads, these streets at one time. So the capacity has been increased. So Ethereum right now 15 TPS. So for us, it's like 3,000 TPS. It's almost like 200 times faster. So it's like we're building up more lanes on the top of the street. Then there will be enable more cars to pass through these roads. Yeah.
I love like your analogy. It makes it sound like, okay, why would not understand at all when you mention layer.
Yeah.
I think that there are more questions
Yeah,
asking.
there's a challenge. Yes, but there's a sorry. I just want to ask because the technology is already out there, but why not no one use it? I just want to elaborate a little bit
Mhm.
because all the cars are right now on the streets. Um, they haven't drive up to the highway yet because if you want to go to highway, you have to pay entry fees, and the entry fee is like same as let's make a normal transaction. Say pay like $5 or $10. It depends on the circumstance. So most of the car drivers will say, "Oh, okay, you have to pay the entry fees or like the toll money to get into the speedway, a high speedway." Then they just rather waiting in the street. That's why the adoption on the layer two is not yet ready. But we have solutions. I can share afterward.
Sounds great. Yeah, we got more questions on the technology and the protocol itself. But before we get there, let's talk a little bit about your token, LLC.
Yeah.
What is the token used for? Why is it viable for your ecosystem? And what kind of fundamentals add value for the token itself?
Yeah, right now, so it's also a very good questions because I want to talk about our token history from the past the present and the future. So the present is now the token is only for staking. You can stake our token in a pool, in a smart contract, then earn a fee from our protocol fees, which is about like 6 basis points. To be honest, I think it's stupid. It's stupid for the current Loopring because we have upgrade our technology, but the tokenomics was way behind. We will update our tokenomics by the end of this year, or maybe early next year. We will launch our DAO and also the other exciting news. So that's our future. I can't share too much yet because it's not ready yet. There's still a lot of uncertainties. In the future, in the past, Loopring 1.0 and 2.0, like pretty much like Loopring ARC token was like you can see it as a BNB tokens, same utility tokens as BNB, pay fees discount for exchange, but BNB is for Binance, ARC is for Loopring decentralized exchange. But in the future will be the DAO that become a sort of governance token for our entire ecosystems.
Okay, thanks for your clarification on the role transition throughout the version 1.0 to now 3.0 and near the end of.
It is complicated. Yeah.
So thanks
it
for
is complicated. People get confused.
Yeah. So leading to the next question, right? So if someone who is interested in investing in your project, and you definitely like recently we have invited a lot of projects also trying to solve the issue of scalability, which is like the number one issue to solve in our space at the moment. Can you precisely give us three main advantages of Loopring, what you guys are doing compared to other projects who are trying to achieve the same thing? Maybe use your non-technical analogies, which seems to work very well.
Yeah, sure. 3 words: faster, cheaper, secure. Faster is because I should say secure first. So all the other, there's like bunch of scaling solutions right now up on the market. There's us, we have ZK-Rollup. There's optimistic rollup. There's plasma plus rollup. There's also sidechain. There's Raiden, also has the sort of side chains scaling solutions. But all in all, ZK-Rollup is the most secure solutions because it has the same security level as the Ethereum mainnet. All the other solutions will have sort of security trade-off. That's why Vitalik has been promoting. I wouldn't say promoting, but being like encourage people to use zkRollup the most on his Twitter. In this year, especially, he's been asking us or telling people to use us Loopring and the ZK Sync. And second is faster because faster and cheaper. I can say it all together because, as I say, what we do is we put all the computation work off chain. I only put the result on the chain, and the blockchain just need to verify the result, the proofs. So by doing this, we can massively save the cost, gas fees, and for us, each trading fees, each trading cost is about like, I would say, no. So 1 million transaction cost for us costs you about like $100. Yeah, so it's less than 1 cent per transaction cost, and also the TPS, as I say, it's 3,000 TPS per second. versus right now is 15 TPS. If any of you have been doing yield farming, you understand what I'm talking about. You sign in, deposit your money token into the pool, the rewards pool, and you have to pay how much? $10, $20, $50, or even $100. This can massively cut down the cost up to like less than a few cents, and even like the response speed will be like instantly. Yeah, so secure, faster, and cheaper.
So I guess the technology behind on securing or ensuring the security is the zero knowledge proof, right? So to the audience now here who may not really understand what it is, can you give us like a quick introduction on that, and specifically why zero knowledge proof is better than the others you just mentioned, and not compromising the security on the current Ethereum level?
Okay, sure. I would say each approach has pros and cons. Um, ZK-Rollup has the most advantage for ZK-Rollup is it has the same security level as Ethereum mainnet. But the downside for the you're asking me to talk about the advantage. I'm talking about the downside. The downside is really hard to it's really hard to pick it up, and it's not easy to start with. Many projects want to start to use ZK-Rollup, but after a bit research and study, they found you have to spend a lot of resource and energy to do it, and it's not even guaranteed. For us, our team spent almost over a year to do that, and working with different talents in the industry, Ethereum Foundation, Meta Labs, and it is like all those top, the most smart people in the space we've been working with together to build up this technology. It is the most secure solutions. Why? Because like for I can add a bit technique elements into this explanation. Is like for zkRollup, it's people will zkRollup will create a Merkle tree. Then each Merkle tree they have a root. So we will put all those. If you deposit your token, your Ether into zkRollup a smart contract, then there will be a layer 2 account. You will be created by you will create a layer 2 account. Then I will have my layer 2 account as well. Then if we to start to make a trade or transfer sort of work, then everything will be do off chain, like between those Merkle tree accounts, and only the result, like say if we do a swap or trade, then the result will be calculated and then put on the blockchain, and the blockchain will just do the verification. So it is like we save pretty much 99% of the computation work on the blockchain, and it is most secure way. For the zkRollup, I can also share a bit of story. What's zkRollup? It's like zero knowledge. zkRollup stands for zero knowledge proof. Zero knowledge proof. You can understand just basically from the words. It's like you're going back home and you see your girlfriend or your boyfriend's car parking in front of your the door, and then you assume he's or she's at home. So that's called zero knowledge proof, because you didn't see it, but it approved the result. Or even in the other words, I would say, if you are hearing like raining sort of sounds, then you know it's raining outside. So this sort of zero knowledge proof.
Okay, the next question is from me. It's not from the
Yeah,
company.
sure. Yeah, go
And
ahead.
it does sound like that the security risk is shifted from the underlying blockchain to the layer 2. Am I understanding incorrectly, or please dumb it down for me to understand?
Oh yeah, yeah. So as I said, the layer 2 ZK-Rollup technology has the same security level as Ethereum. That that means Ethereum blockchain also has the security risk. Um, so I would say so for like our approach, because there's uh, because in ZK-Rollup there's also different approaches. There's a ZK Snacks, which is using by us. There's also called ZK Plonk, using by Meta Labs. So for ZK Snacks, we have to do a trust setup. Trust setup is like you are lining up, or you're calling up like say 10 people to generate a result. Says if I write down a word, says I do a math. If I do a math questions, then I got a result, and I will pass it to a friend. Then my friends will also do. It can be my friend, can be anybody, and then he will use my result to do the second questions. Then then you just find like maybe a bunch of people, a dozen people to do that, and then we start to use the result from it's called trusted up ceremony. So we use that result um, in the future. So we assume like is there's still a risk if like the initial group uh, if the initial group cheated the result, then all the proofs will be false. Um, but we can find like we can find like 12 random people, or like a group of random people to do this trusted up, so they don't know each other. As long as there's one people um, didn't lie, then we can use that result
Mhm.
and for the future use.
Mhm.
So it doesn't mean there's no risk. There's still a risk, but it's just tiny. But for the other solution, like there's higher risks.
Mhm. All right, thanks for
Hopefully, I don't know
clarifying.
if you understand. If you don't, let me know. I will figure out a better way to explain.
No, it's great, and I shouldn't allocate too much of the time because we still have a lot of other questions from the community. I want to make sure that we can cover. Um,
Yeah.
let's talk a little bit about Loopring Pay, right? Because you were just when you were introducing yourself, you talk about your credentials that you were at PayPal before you joined officially in the crypto space. Would you be able to provide a little bit more insight on Loopring as the crypto version of PayPal, and how would it benefit the general traders and crypto users?
Yeah, sure. I think because I've been in this third-party payments industry for a few years, so I know how profitable it is, and uh, and the I know the power of the Swift, and there's like in different region, because I working in mostly like APAC region, but I also know people from different, especially in APAC. For example, in APAC region, like there's, for example, there's people from say um, Philippines. No, they working in Hong Kong, then they want to wire money back to home. Um, it's a perfect case. But if you do use the like Western Union or the other solutions, or even PayPal, it's expensive, and there's a lot of uh, um, downsides. But with crypto, I mean, like crypto can provide this solution right now. Like for example, Ripple is not blockchain company, but it positions itself as a blockchain company, and but well, it solved the problem as a payment solutions, but it's not really like decentralized payment solutions. But right now we have these purely decentralized solutions built on the top of Ethereum, so people can wire ERC20 or Ether to anybody, like purely anytime, anywhere. Um, to anyone, even without KYC. I know it's kind of trick doggy because without KYCs,
Mm.
You kind of dodge the regulations, but that it that it is. I mean, the crypto space, it's it is sort of in the gray areas.
Mhm.
Not everyone's been doing KYCs. So, say it's in Africa or in South America, people don't have identity, so they need to wire money, USDC or DAI if they want to have a good adoption in those region. Um, then they're being limited by the Ethereum blockchain.
Mm.
So here we go. We have these fast solutions. They can enable people to pay a DAI or USDC in a local merchandiser instantly for free. Right now, if you want to pay with DAI, you have to scan the code and send and wait for maybe 30 seconds up to like 3 hours for the confirmation. That's ridiculous. Like early this year, at the beginning of the show, I was in Sydney back in my uni, and then in my coffee store, there's a store, then they accept the crypto, but who gonna pay it? Nobody. Uh, it's just for PR sort of things. But it can be a real user case. People can pay with the cryptos.
Yeah, I think especially like you mentioned about APAC, I think a lot of countries in Southeast Asia where the payment infrastructure is still largely underdeveloped, and the people end users are those who suffer, right? So I think
Yes.
as us being in the industry, it's not about being dodgy or not, but it's about how we enable the technology for more users to adopt and be able to fully utilize that for those who have been pushed away from the more mainstream banking system. So I myself have not heard about this payment solutions before. So what is the level of adoption is like now? You actually have like a decent amount of end users using that yet? Or is there more like use cases that you can share with us on like anyone who are interested in trying out your Loopring Pay solution?
Yeah, sure. Right now it's just Bone. So the use case is our team itself. We use this solution to pay our team's salaries. I don't know how you guys being paid in crypto or in fiat, but I know a lot of co-founders. They have been complaining to me that they spend a lot of gas fees
Mm.
to pay uh, like the salaries to the team by the end of the month, or even some community builders, they have to pay rewards to like they have to spend like a few $100 to pay the gas fees, especially in the past 2 months. Yeah, so this is one case. And also Gitcoin. Gitcoin right now, I think Grant 7 is going to use ZK Sync, but then the next one, the Grant 8 is going to use our payment solutions to distribute grants or rewards to the participators. But for the real user cases, to be honest, it's tough. It's really tough. We've been speaking to MakerDAO teams about DAI and USDC team as well. To be honest, it's tough. It's not just you have good technology, but it's business negotiations. When when they want to use your technology, they want to they don't want to pay too much like I want to say the cost. They don't want to spend too much cost to using a technology. um, in this sort of situation, they want all the technology being open source. But in my position, we build up this team, and we create this technology. We want people to use. I don't know. I don't know. I'm fine sometimes to let people to use it just for adoption for free. But my team, my partners probably have different minds, like I don't know, opinions or thoughts. So yeah, I don't know. It's live streaming. I shouldn't talk too
I
much.
think it's a natural evolution in the industry. Decentralization is a really good uh, ideal for us to achieve, but there's a lot of hard work and sweat in it. right? So how we can make sure that it's still a fair system among the community, I think is important.
Yes.
Let's move on to the next question. Is on Loopring is going to integrate an automated market maker into ZK-Rollup in the next release, and how it's going to affect Loopring.
Oh yeah. So automated market makers is what we know as AMM, the most brilliant creation or no innovation by the Uni team. I'm not sure it's created by the Uni team or the maybe the Genesis team, but it was amazing. It was awesome. It enabled all the individual traders to become market makers. It's really cool. I really like it. And the problem is right now everyone rushing to this AMM, deposit the token into the AMM pool, and start to claim the rewards that become kind of crazy. And the speed become ridiculous. There's one of, besides the scam project, this become the second reason why Ethereum blockchain got clogged. So we have the solutions to enable AM on the layer 2 solutions, so people can still enjoy the good profit, good rate of return, and low fees, fast speed. If you do AM, you
Right.
understand. Yeah.
It sounds like it
So
solves the most pain.
yes, but I have the concern because the rewards has been so ridiculous, unhealthy, and Uniswap seems like the last dance. I don't know. It's my gut feeling. So by the time when we launch our AM, um, I know it will be good. It will benefit our users, holders, but it probably won't be that crazy. When you launch those things, especially, I didn't say I want to enjoy those kind of premium things. To add those um, additional values on our project, but when it comes, especially in the past 2 months, all those projects have been crazy. Like they launched a token, governance token. To be honest, then to me, it doesn't have much values, and then the price have been like 10x or 100x. It's been ridiculous, but when you do your own project, when you launch your project, you also expect it go up as not as much as possible, but you want also you expect to see it go up in a certain levels. Um, yeah, so I hope, I don't know. I know it's good things. It will bring the value in our ecosystem, because on our layer 2 smart contract, there's like over $10 million token lining or sleeping in our contract. Don't bring any values, but if once we bring up this AMM, then people can just deposit the uh, like the tokens, their own token, into AM pool and earn the profit from the trading fees.
As much speculations as we can have, I think only time can tell what's going to happen. And I think regardless, I think the technology and a real use case has been showcased to the mass public. I don't think that is going to go away. Adjustment, corrections, maybe, but let's see. Maybe next time when we chat, we can have a retrospective overview on the farming side of activities.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, let's move to the next question. Is on your opinion on competition, because as there are more and more blockchain projects, and you being one of the longer standing one, does Loopring feel the pressure from the other blockchain projects?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely from time to time. Because we raise, like from financial perspective, because we raise ethers, and at that time back in 2017, we really believe in ethers. At least my partner really believe in ethers, because for me, I'm still sort of like half financial, half internet. So I do sell my ether at a certain level, but my team sort of brainwash me and makes me think ether will go up to like 5,000. So so our team didn't cash out. We didn't cash out much, I would say. So we do feel pressure, especially um, and when the price got crashed back in end of 2018. Um, and also from technology perspective, um, we announced our layer 2 technology in end of February, and then uh, ZK or Sync also announced the ZK Sync Pay like a month after ours, and there's a Stockware, and there's other. Yesterday, I found a new project called ZK Swap. It's like a swap project, use ZK knowledge proof. So we also feel because our AMM is not ready yet, it will be still we still expect to be another 2 or 3 months to be ready. So we feel like there's many project will launch behind in front of us. So we want to become the first, especially in this space. Um, yeah, so we do feel pressure from time to time.
Yeah, it certainly feels like we're constantly sprinting, but we're actually running a marathon, right? So
Yes, yeah,
you
it's a good question. Actually, I'm a marathon runner, but in this space, because I'm a triathlete, so I do a lot of those kind
are.
of long distance things. Yeah, but in this space, like my personality, if I can nail things today, I won't wait for tomorrow.
Yeah.
Um, s- I just want to complete all things today, and I don't want to leave anything for tomorrow. So that's my personality. Yeah, so yes, that's how it works.
I think most people who are in this space or who are still in this space share a similar traits on that personalities as well, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's move on to talk a little bit about DEX, right? So I think decentralized exchanges has also gained a lot of traction, and you are one of the really early players in that space. And earlier you talked quite a lot about how Loopring can addresses the issues on performance, and so the fees can be lowered, right? Why don't we talk about another issue that decentralized exchanges are facing, which is the lack of liquidity, which can also be stemmed from the high fees itself. How does your protocol aim at solving this issue with like all of the decentralized exchanges in the space?
Yeah, to be honest, we don't have solutions at the beginning. So that's why we have those layer 2 solutions, but not much liquidity at all. Um, they have 10 million assets just lying in our contract, but still no liquidities. Um, but look, we have the Uniswap solutions right now. I think it's brilliant. It's awesome. Um, it can bring the liquidity to DEX. I mean, like, my takeaway is like if we want to compete with centralized exchange, I wouldn't particularly say we are competing with centralized, but it is a reality. It is
Yeah.
the fact. In my opinion, there will be both centralized and decentralized exchange running in all together at the same time in the future. But if you want to like compete with centralized exchange, you can't just copy them. You have to do something different. If so, for example, in the past, we 0x, and there's also the other decentralized exchange was doing the same things, orderbook-based decentralized exchange. Your back in 2018, I tell everyone that we are uh, safer, non-custodian, but no one cares because there's no liquidities. So that won't work. I think liquidity is the king for DeFi for exchanges.
Yeah.
So right now the AMM is I mean like is like it become the most brilliant ideas, inventions for DEX. It saved the DEX, to be honest. Same as us.
Yeah, so I think let's see how it goes. It took years for centralized exchange to mature. I think like decentralized exchanges, like any other venues and platforms, will naturally take time to mature. And I totally agree with you that to have like more distinct features, leveraging the nature of decentralization is crucial for the next wave of boom as well. Um, let's talk a little bit about your overall strategy on partnership and mass adoption, right? Which is really crucial for all of the projects, not just for the development, but also gaining traction among the community. What difficulties that you're facing to bring partnerships or mass adoptions, and what are you guys doing on that?
Mm, it is a I want to say it is harder than we expect, because for the from a traditional fintech or internet space, the mass adoption means like a billion, 10 billion adoptions. But in the crypto space, maybe adoption means a million uh, adoptions. Uh, in from that perspective, I think adoption is easier to achieve. But uh, after a few years, the only proven business in this space is centralized exchange and a wallet, crypto wallet. Right now, DeFi application has picked up a bit of volumes, but in the past, only centralized exchange. Ethereum was a good ICO too, and has bit attractions, volumes. All the others, they don't have adoptions at all. But so so after 3 years working, we think we will find a good solution is the wallet. Um, and then so in one of the event, like offline event, my CTO and I heard Vitalik will talk about smart wallet. That was back in, I think it was last year. Yeah, last year, 2018 August. I think October. So we heard Vitalik talk about the smart contract idea, and we find, I think that's the things that's the killing app that can bring mass adoptions. The user experience should be same as PayPal or same as Venmo, or any other. You just need your phone number or email plus password. You can just create your own decentralized wallet. Shouldn't be any sort of private keys or public keys that kind of create a chaos. Um, then then my mom can use crypto wallet. She can create her own crypto wallet. I think that's a good way to bring mass adoptions. And for smart wallet, you can build up other key features, because it's still a decentralized wallet. What if you forget your password, or your, yeah, just in case you forget your password, then it's for a centralized change. You can still, a centralized solution, you still can find through customer service or even exchanges, um, but for decentralized smart wallet, you can add some features like it's called social recovery. Maybe you can find your backup through your contacts. You can add some like backups, recovery backups on your wallet. You can point out one or two wallet just in case if you forget about your password. Then those two wallet can help you to recover. And also, some big whales has say 10 or 20 wallets. Each was a few millions. Then because they have too many wallets. Because I do know some whales, they have too many wallets, and they easily forget about it. And and so you can add those features. If you don't use or exercise your wallet, then all the assets will be transferred into maybe your girlfriend, your wife's wallet. So it will be a good sort of protections.
Yeah, I'm glad that you point that out because as small as it seems, but it's actually really crucial my phone crashed a month ago, and I gotta do a hot restore. And for a second, I was really scared. I lost the 20 keyword phrases to restore my wallet. I mean, even me living in this space would and like encounter moments like this. And you're right. I think we're very fixated on the concept of private key and public keys is definitely not necessarily the case. I also really hope to see more contribution on the UI front, as much as
Yeah.
the technology is developing really fast and rapidly. So
Yes. Yes.
let's wrap up with the last question: is what is the roadmap like for Loopring? It's asking about upcoming years, but let's just use the speed in crypto space in the next couple of months or so.
Yeah. Yeah. Sure. Next 1 or 2 years is too long for crypto. So next half year's plan is we will upgrade our protocol to 3.6, which will support layer one between layer one and which will support the composability between layer one and layer two, and also we will launch our um, app, mobile app, smart wallet plus the ZK-Rollup DEX and payment mobile app by the end of this year. Then early next year we will launch our DAO. So we will redesign our tokenomics. It will become more yeah, well, it will become more meaningful.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, that's pretty much our short term plan in the next I would say 6 months time.
Quite a number of big pieces. So good luck, and I'll make sure to also uh, keep informed and updated on the progress that you guys are making. So that's it. I think we have just walked through all 20 questions. So thanks so much, Jay, for your insights and your well thought through answers and time today. And also thanks to our community for your participation and also all of the great questions that you raised today. Um, just to be redundant, so for the questions that have been selected today, you have won a share of prize pool of 3,300 of Loopring Native Token LLC, and the prize will be distributed directly to your crypto.com app account within 2 weeks or so. So before closing, any final words, Jay, that you would like to share with our community?
Yes, I would say I think the bull market is coming. So take the chance, take the ride. Sometime next year, you're gonna change your life. So grab it.
Ah, this is like one of the best closings I've ever had.
Oh, thanks. Good timing.
Yeah, good timing, definitely. Once again, thanks a lot, Jay. And in the meantime, please follow Loopring, OLG, and also Crypto.com on Twitter to stay informed about the upcoming events and updates.
Yeah,
Until
awesome.
next,
Thanks, guys.
thank you.